He thought one payment would solve everything. One transfer, one act of kindness, one chance to help the woman he loved escape a dangerous situation. But the moment the money landed, the nightmare actually began. Because in the world he had just stepped into, paying the debt didn't make him the hero. It made him the next target. And within days, the calls started, the threats escalated, and strangers began appearing everywhere he went. This isn't just a story about romance, it's about how quickly protection can turn into entrapment, and how one emotional decision can pull you into a system designed to never let you leave. Welcome to Passport Romance Stories, where we uncover the hidden risks behind international relationships, nightlife culture, and the dangerous situations most tourists never see coming. Tonight's story begins with a woman named Marley and a debt that should never have become his problem. But once he paid it, the syndicate stopped chasing her and started hunting him. Ryan Cooper, 44, from Blackpool, met Marley during his second trip to Thailand. At first, nothing about her stood out as suspicious. She wasn't pushy, didn't ask for money immediately, didn't tell dramatic stories on the first night. If anything, she seemed hesitant around him. That hesitation is what convinced him she was genuine. They spent nearly 2 weeks together. Street markets, late-night food stalls, small bars away from the tourist areas. Ryan started believing he'd found something real, but there were inconsistencies. Sometimes she disappeared for hours without explanation. Sometimes she became distant after checking her phone, and every now and then he noticed bruises she tried to hide with makeup. When he asked her about them, she brushed it off. Family problems, she said. Nothing serious. Ryan wanted to believe her, because by then he was emotionally invested. And emotionally invested people don't think clearly. They think hopefully. The confession came late one night. Rain outside, music from the street below, Marley sitting silently at the edge of the hotel bed. Then suddenly, "I owe money," she said quietly. Ryan felt his stomach tighten. At first, he assumed it was a normal debt. Maybe rent, maybe family issues. But the way she spoke, the way her hands shook, told him this was different. She explained she had borrowed money months earlier from a local lender after her mother became sick. The repayments spiraled. Interest increased weekly, and now men were pressuring her constantly. "They won't leave me alone," she whispered. Ryan asked how much. When she told him, he actually laughed at first, not because it was funny, because compared to what he earned back home, it sounded solvable. That's how these situations begin. The number feels manageable, temporary, fixable, and predators understand that perfectly. Ryan hesitated, not because he didn't care, but because something about the situation felt incomplete. The details kept changing. 1 minute it was hospital bills, then family debt, then missed repayments, then fees. Still, he convinced himself confusion was normal under stress. He told himself, "If I help her once, this ends." That sentence would destroy him. The transfer happened 2 days later. Ryan almost backed out multiple times. At the bank, he paused before confirming the international transfer. Even the bank teller asked questions. "Are you sure you know this person?" That should have mattered more. But Ryan was already emotionally trapped, because by then, helping her wasn't about logic anymore. It was about identity. He wanted to be the man who saved her. The money cleared that evening. Marley cried, hugged him, said he changed her life. For a few hours, Ryan felt relief. Then his phone rang. Unknown number, calm male voice. "Thank you for settling the account," the man said. Ryan frowned. The voice continued, "We may need your assistance again soon." The line disconnected. That was the moment everything shifted. The calls became regular after that. Always polite at first, always calm, small requests, minor administrative issues, unexpected processing fees. Ryan refused initially. He told Marley, "I already paid," but she stopped giving clear answers. Sometimes she defended the lenders, other times she cried and begged him not to make things worse. That confusion kept him stuck. Then came the messages, photos of his hotel, photos of the cafe where he ate breakfast, photos of him leaving shopping centres. The realisation hit slowly. They weren't chasing her anymore, they were studying him. His routines, his habits, his reactions. And once predators know you're scared, the pressure escalates fast. Ryan tried to leave Thailand early, but problems suddenly appeared everywhere. His online banking became locked after repeated login attempts. His hotel reservation disappeared from the system. A motorbike followed him for nearly 40 minutes through traffic. Then came the deeper fear. The syndicate somehow knew details about his family back home, his daughter's first name, his company, even his address in Blackpool. That's when he stopped sleeping properly, because the danger no longer felt local. It felt portable. The messages became relentless. Encrypted apps, voice notes, fake legal documents, threats disguised as warnings. One message simply read, "You inherited the responsibility." Ryan realised something terrifying. The original debt was never meant to be repaid. The debt was bait. Over the next week, Ryan paid more money than he ever admitted publicly. Not because he believed the threats would stop, but because exhaustion destroys resistance. That's what people misunderstand about extortion. It's not one terrifying moment, it's constant pressure, repeated interruptions, sleep deprivation, fear layered over uncertainty. Eventually, your brain stops planning long term. You just want relief. Ryan started making mistakes, answering unknown calls, sending partial payments, trying to negotiate. Every response confirmed he was still vulnerable, and every payment made him look richer. Meanwhile, Marley became increasingly distant, sometimes disappearing completely, then returning emotionally devastated. Ryan couldn't tell whether she was another victim or part of the machine. That uncertainty destroyed him psychologically, because if she truly cared, why wasn't she helping him escape? The breaking point finally came. Ryan returned to his condo one night and found the front door slightly open. Nothing stolen, nothing damaged, but sitting on the table, printed screenshot of his latest bank transfer. No message, no threat, just proof that they could reach him any time. That night, he booked the first available flight out. He didn't even pack properly. At the airport, he kept expecting someone to stop him. Every security guard felt suspicious. Every delayed announcement felt personal. Even after boarding, he couldn't relax, because psychologically he was still trapped inside the system. Ryan eventually contacted specialised cybercrime investigators after returning home, but recovering the money proved nearly impossible. Most of the accounts were layered through offshore networks, fake identities, and temporary digital wallets. And the hardest part wasn't the financial loss, it was realising his kindness had been weaponised against him from the beginning. Because predators don't always use violence first. Sometimes they use emotion. They look for loneliness, hope, protection instincts, and once you prove you're willing to pay, the hunt begins. If this story made you think differently about trust, pressure, or emotional manipulation abroad, make sure you subscribe to Passport Romance Stories, because the next story might be even harder to escape.